Hello, my name is Salvatore Ferrara, and I will be addressing the question on how my film, The Life We Live, uses and challenges conventions and how it represents social groups and issues. In my film, I chose to work with the mafia genre because I believe most audiences can recognize this convention and understand what is to come later in the film. Through the research of the genre, I analyzed films like The Godfather, Goodfellas, and most particularly, The Sopranos. I noticed common conventions in these films, including voiceover narration and commonly a theme of loyalty and betrayal, also usually a male-dominated field. In all of my research, organized crime was very glamorized through their wealth. I also observed some elements using different camera shots, like the freeze frame, to immediately tell a story, or a close-up to add more tension to a conversation. In my film, I used a numerous number of these conventions. For example, in my entire film, I utilized voiceover narration, which mirrors this reflective tone in most mafia films. I focused on loyalty and betrayal in my narrative to also align with the expectation of my genre. However, I also challenged certain conventions. As in most films, crime is glamorized. I like to portray it as a system of once you get in, there's no going back. And that is the idea of living in the life we live. This can leave my audience questioning because usually all of the wealth consumes the film. In terms of representation, mafia films are usually male-dominated to give these tough, quote-unquote tough guys a meaner look. In my film, there isn't a woman character, but in these films, women are usually portrayed as passive, but also a loose end to their significant other, who is usually a mafia boss. When considering social groups, mafia films are commonly focused around Italian Americans, which could reinforce some stereotypes of organized crime with the Italians. I somewhat added to this joke using my production company, Forget About It Studios, to set up a less tense tone, but also still add to the genre. Regarding age and societal bias, these men are often old and wise to give them a more authentic look. I challenge this because I am a younger male, and this could raise questions on how one so young could already have this much knowledge. Overall, my production challenges and uses common mafia conventions. By using these elements while questioning numerous ones, I aim to create my product to feel authentic to the genre, but also challenge the social aspect of these types of films. Enjoy my fishing.